Yo, what's up? Happy Saturday to everyone. Thank y'all for being here. Baby, when I tell you we got a good show, I got some good tea to spill on you guys. I might burn your tongue today on this tea, so please sip it slowly, all right? Don't be trying to guzzle. But y'all deep throat tea drinkers. Baby, thank y'all for being here. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are doing well. We are still snowed in. For those of you that are experiencing inclement weather, please be safe out there if you do have to go out and about, okay? Because the roads are very slick. I know here we have black ice and slushy stuff going on out there as well. So y'all be safe. For my LA people out there, still prayers for you guys as the fires are still getting more and more under control. We are still seeing more houses burning. So we are still sending prayers up for you guys. All right. I saw some stuff going on in Texas where there was a Texas fire that happened, some type of an explosion. Prayers to you guys out there that may be in or around the vicinity of that explosion as well. And also, let's not forget about our New York people in the Bronx, where the apartment building went up in flames as well. So we have more people being displaced, not just in LA, but also in the Bronx. So prayers to you guys for that. All right. Thank you, Tyra, for being here. Thank you to all of my Caramelians for being here. Let's jump into our show. Everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. All right, thank y'all for being here. I don't know why I'm feeling a little petty this morning. Maybe it's the topics that we got to talk about, so you guys bear with me as we get through them. I might talk a little bit shit today. Don't worry about it. That's just how we do over here in Pettyville. All right, that's how we do in Pettyville, honey. So put your seatbelts on. Let's get through this show and let's go. All right, so as you guys know, Carlos King brought back his Reality with the King show. Was I going to review it? No, but this particular topic, I do want to talk about it because it's going to connect to another topic that I'm going to share with you guys as well. Leticia Pearson with her hating ass had her big holiday heart looking ass sitting up there on the screen. And out of all the things that she could have talked about, she's always talking about on Belle Collective. She has all these businesses going on. Why you didn't talk about that? What you did choose to talk about was Aisha, who is no longer on the fucking show. I have a problem with people who get on platforms and you have the opportunity to promote your businesses, but you choose to be on a petty level and speak on people who are not speaking on you. Never, ever in life will somebody ask me to be on an interview and my main focus is to talk about those that's got negative shit to say about me versus promoting my platform and or what I have going on. Okay, that's the opportunity for you to grow whatever business that you continue to say on Belle Collective and any other collective that you have. So while you continue to talk about Aisha, who is doing fine over there with her husband, child, her $2.6 million home and raising her children and running her business, is not thinking about you, not talking about you. It's very weird to me, Leticia, how jealous hearted you seem to be. Let's get into it though. All right. I took the initiative to go ahead and pull it so you guys can see it in real time with me. So let's do it. Shout out to Own. Shout out to, I guess, Carlos as well, because he interviewed this clown. So she is a whole hating ass clown. All right. So let's get into what she had to say, and I'll give my commentary on it as such. Let's blow it up big so you
want to say, oh, it's just.
Oh, let's let it catch up because y'all know there's slight latency with StreamYard. All right. And here we go.
It has nothing to do with that because I knew everything that Aisha had going on and what she had when I went so hard for her to be in the collective. You know, I have messages where she was texting me. I haven't heard anything. I haven't received a call from Carlos. I said, let me make sure they get my girl in. I thought it was genuine. She had propped on Ferris Street. And I said, oh my God, this is my mind. This is alignment. We can collaborate together. We can work together. It took me back to when we originally pitched. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Where have you been? Right. This is beautiful. This works great. And she came in and it switched. When she started with the dirty plates, I'm like, what is happening here?
My plate is dirty.
So where's your plate?
My plate's right here. See, I got a little, it's some honey on here. It's smarts.
Yeah.
So I don't eat on dirty plates.
I was sitting at the head at the brunch table. Tambra was on the right of me. And I looked at Tambra and I said, I should have listened to you. And Tambra said, because Tambra tried to tell me beforehand what type of person she was. When you asked me and Latrice at the reunion, why did you two feel that y'all had to get on the telephone with each other after Timber told you guys about Aisha. And we didn't say anything because we didn't want to throw Timber under the bus. And I regret not speaking up. During the scene at the Taste grand opening, I felt the tension.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program.
This is breaking news, and I'm Carlos King, your special correspondent. We have an emergency weather update. Things are getting steamy in Jackson, Mississippi. Child, word on the street, there's a chilly cold front rolling in from New Jersey. The forecast, a full-blown shade storm on the horizon. But watch out, folks. This one's bringing the heat, and nobody's safe from the burn. Find out as the temperature skyrockets in season 6 on the Belle Collective. Stay tuned. This one's going to be fire.
All right, so y'all see where she threw all this shade, where she's talking about
Jersey.
Let me send it back.
Where do you want to say?
All right, let's start sharing. Let me get back to my main screen. All right, so my only issue with Leticia with this situation here is with her sitting down with Carlos. Like I said, this is a moment for you to promote yourself. This is a moment for you to promote your businesses. You chose not to do that because you still have this hate and jealousy and vitriol for Aisha. And it shows that you had that since day one. Yes, she did call you out on those dirty ass plates, and I would have done the same fucking thing. Don't invite me nowhere, and I got to eat on a dirty plate or a dirty glass. Like, I mean, damn, I went to a restaurant and they sent me something to drink with some damn lips on it. When somebody had red lipstick and they put that shit down on the table thinking I was going to drink it. I'm looking at this stuff like, I told the waitress, look, we don't want any of this shit that we ordered and we're getting ready to go. Like, that's an insult to me. You have a job to do. And what you should have done was done a complete walkthrough to make sure everything was in place and how it was supposed to be prior to inviting the people in. That's your place to walk and make sure ain't nothing on these plates. The glasses or everything are set to where they're supposed to. Everything is clean. Everything's presentable. You, as the host of this party, did not do your job. So don't get mad at Aisha for coming to you to say, hey, you invite me to this place. The place was the plates were dirty. I can't eat off this. I'm not going to eat off this and be quiet and not bring it to your attention because I don't want to embarrass you. Like, she told you my plate is dirty. So what are you mad at her for being honest with you for? It's given that you were looking for any opportunity to be upset with her and to have some type of beef with her because it made you feel better because you were already jealous of her. That's what gave you said, I already knew who she was and what she was about prior. Okay, you did know. Which then she became a target to you. And that's how, and I cannot stand that with some of us as women. We act that way just because somebody have a little bit more than you or they got a little bit more pop about their lives more than you. Get your shit up. Like, don't be jealous of somebody else and trying to pull them down, bring them down because you're not on their level. That's not her fault that you choose to be lazy and sit at home and eat fucking pork chops all fucking day and not worry about business. Like, that ain't her fault. But if you invite me somewhere and your shit ain't up and you giving me some dirty shit to eat on, I'm going to say something. And I'm probably going to leave if you want to get an attitude with me. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to get your shit together, but I'm probably going to leave if shit does not change. So the dirty plates, of course, she says, hurt her feelings so bad at the event. But that was her fault. That was Leticia's fault. Then she was mad at the Ferris Street project because bringing Aisha on, she was under the guise of she and Aisha were going to work together on the Ferris Street project. But the only issue with that is that Leticia did not have her money together. Hell, she didn't even really have a place to stay during the time the Ferris Street project was even getting ready to be put together. So Aisha took on the project on her own, completed it. And that was something that she was able to have bragging rights for, to say, hey, I put together Ferris Street. Leticia, you were staying in, and I talked about this on my show before. You, Glenn, and your son were staying in a 2-bedroom mobile home with your mother and a few other people that were living there because you didn't have a place to stay. You were. And there's nothing against nobody staying in a mobile home, but I'm saying don't get on national television and try to act like you that girl when you're really not that girl, because you are leasing cars, from what I've heard from a very reputable source. You are leasing cars to look rich on the show when that's really not the case. And the house that you stayed in last season was an Airbnb. So let's not get on the TV and act like you that girl and that you bringing everybody to the collective and that you got all this pull when you ain't got your shit up. So you mad at the wrong person. You got a nigga that can't keep a job, that can't keep drug tests clean. Like nigga having dirty drug tests from what we hear. Yeah, Glenn, him. Fake ass Boosie. Like, let's not do that. I cannot stand when people don't be on this shit and get mad at other people like it's their fault. But Leticia, honey, aka Holiday Heart, and I'm gonna keep calling her ass Holiday Heart because that's how her ass look. All right. She is she's like I said, she's mad about the Fair Street project, but you did not have your money to put in with Aisha. And then, like I said, I didn't think Aisha wanted to work with you on that anyway, because of course she likes to do her businesses on her own. I follow Aisha, been following her since forever. I rock with Aisha. I like Aisha. I just can't with Leticia because she's too jealous hearted. And I think that she has the opportunity. She has the, ability maybe to be greater than she is. But I think she focuses so much on the other Bells and what they're doing until she feels like she has to compete. And it's not about competition. Just go out and get your stuff up and be great. I compete with nobody. I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't need to compete with any woman, anybody. And I tell you all the time, I can compliment you if I see you got some bad shit on. I'll be like, girl, them shoes are bad. Or you're doing great in something. I can compliment you on that because it does not minimize who I am and what I have going on for me to do so. And I feel like not Aisha, but Leticia has that issue with herself whenever she is around the other Bells. It's always a competition for her, more so for Aisha, because Aisha is in a different tax bracket than she is. So now the narrative that they've been trying to push this season on Belle Collective, and I've been seeing it, is that Aisha thinks she's better than. No, she doesn't think that. You think that she's better than you because you're sitting back watching what she does versus getting your own businesses up to par and doing what you need to do to get out of the tax bracket you're in. Her husband is an NFL player. He still does commentating for the NFL. I've seen it. So he's still getting that NFL money. Okay. They're staying in a huge, nice home in New Jersey. They're doing well for themselves. And I feel like they may have been out of their league maybe to come on this show, which is trash as hell. Because from what they're doing, and then to be on Belle Collective, which is a trash ass show. I don't think honestly they should have been on there. So I respect them totally for leaving the show as they did. All right. But yeah, I don't agree with what Leticia had to say. And I think that was very small of you to hop your ass on Reality with the King and speak on Aisha the way that you did. And I didn't hear you say anywhere of anything that you were doing. You talked about a box truck business you were doing. I didn't hear anything about that. You said that Glenn was doing some other stuff. I didn't hear you mention that. But I did hear you go on and on about Aisha, which shows that you are sitting back watching her, probably stalking her, because everyone has stalkers, myself included. But anyway, and you're following up on what she's doing versus focusing on yourself. All right, but let's move on because we don't like to stay on one topic too long. You guys get the picture and the point. Let's move on. All right, so next thing I want to get into is this Destiny Payton thing, foundation. She did put out a foundation. She also had a let's talk about the scene first. I don't want to jump around too much. Y'all follow me. I'm sorry. Let me pull that back up. Can I get rid of it? Let's see. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to show this scene again, and then we're going to get into Destiny and what she had to say in response to this scene because people are tearing her ass up on here. Okay. So let's get into it. Let me share my screen. Because according to Destiny, honey, she's saying that she didn't even know Martell was going to be there when she had this brunch situation with Tisha. And I don't believe her. But we're going to get into it. Shout out to OWN because that's where we're watching it from. All right, let's get into it.
What's up?
Hey,
How y'all doing?
Well,
How you doing?
like I said, this had with the enemy without my husband being here, so I'm going to dismiss myself and y'all enjoy this. Bye. Yeah, I have nothing for that. I feel angry, upset, not happy at all. It would be a cold day in hell before I sit across a table with Martell without my husband being present.
I hate that y'all are in this space. I really do.
Yep.
I commend you for showing up to giving an apology. She's just not ready to receive it.
I'm tired of being nice to people. Like, you don't want to be nice back to me, I'm not going to be nice to you.
All right, we're going to play it no more. I already played it like 4 times on my channel. All right, I did that just to refresh your memory. All right, so let's get into what I wanted to talk about. Now, Destiny May mentioned that she did not know that Martell would be appearing in said scene or coming there for the dinner that she and Tisha were having at that particular time. A lot of people say they think that she was lying. Somebody said not dismiss myself. Y'all know Tisha cannot talk for shit. But anyway, I feel like she was lying. I feel like if you did not know that Martell was going to be there, when he walked around the corner and you saw that he was standing there, I didn't see you act surprised at all. If I'm somewhere and somebody that I don't expect to be somewhere where I'm going to be with someone else and they just pop up out of the blue, I'm gonna be like, hey, what you doing here? That's gonna be my reaction. I didn't get that from Destiny because I feel like you anticipated Martell coming to said scene. I think you knew it. I said yesterday, I feel like Destiny is trying to be the bridge keeper of Martell getting scenes on Love and Marriage Huntsville because no one wants to film with him. She's totally open to filming with him because that's her friend. I feel like she set up behind the scenes for Martell to come to this particular scene. One, to get a check because they get paid for scenes. Two, I feel like she was allowing him to come there to try to bridge the gap for Martell to make amends with Tisha so that Tisha can then let Marceau know so that they can all be friends again and Martell can have someone to film with while Destiny will no longer be on the show for next season, according to what I've also heard. That's what I feel. I feel like she's trying to be the peacemaker when she's really the shit starter. And I do not like those type of people who pretend to want to put fires out when they're the ones standing there with fucking gasoline. And Destiny, you appear to be that person. And other people have sounded off and they've said something about it. Okay, people have commented about Destiny lying and being a shit starter and setting up scenes and situations for Martell to act a fool. And then she wants to act like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm going to be the first person to leave, just like she did at the Big D Energy Field Day event, where she walked away with Lance Fletcher saying, oh, one of y'all got to go or both of y'all got to leave. When she made that comment, well, you just had that conversation with Martell in your storage office about who wasn't there for him. So then you get there and then you act like you don't know that Martell is going to act batshit crazy, which he always does. And Destiny, you are always in the middle of his bullshit. You are. So do you think in your crazy mind that Tisha was going to sit there and continue to stuff her mouth, okay, without chewing and swallowing? Because, girl, they said your throat is very deep. That's what somebody said. They said you got a deep throat out here. So you was stuffing your mouth and swallowing more so than chewing, okay? But, that cut deep. Anyway, girl. But Tara, yeah, so I don't feel like you thought that the two of them were going to make up in that moment because Tisha likes to hold on to things, just like she does with Melody. She never, ever gets over anything, but she loves to run her mouth about everybody else. So people like that, you have to watch them. Tisha is a grudge holder. Tisha is a low-key mean girl. Tisha is a shit starter behind the scenes as well, which is why she and Destiny get along. But let's go ahead and get into some receipts here. Let's go ahead and get into some stuff. All right, let me pull up some stuff here with Destiny and her lying ass. Let's get into her. She has started a foundation. We're going to get into it. She's been hanging around Tisha quite for some time because y'all know how Tisha do. Like, she copies everyone and their businesses and their ideas. So it's no weird. It's not weird to me at all that Destiny would also go out here and copy someone else's business and or foundation as well. It's given that she did not come out with the idea of the Destiny's Law Foundation because it was already out. And we're going to get into that here in a second as well, because I do have receipts on that. All right. So just like Tisha went out here and copied it just for me for her daughter's hair care line, Rich Wife trucker hats. What else? Melody's embrace and her MB logo. She copied that for her mama's business. We've talked about all of this. It's no different than Destiny doing the same shit. And she did the same thing with this Destiny's Law Foundation. So as you guys can see on my screen, this is her logo. Destiny's Law Foundation, destined for safety, guided by law. Now, you know her son is Law. Her son's name is Law, okay? All right, let's continue. All right, so this is what she has to say. Let's blow it up. This is most recent. Now, let's go ahead and y'all follow me as I read these lies to you from Destiny. Let me blow it up some more, child, because I want my reading skills to be on with this shit. Okay, so Destiny says, as a domestic violence survivor, I take this matter very seriously. She says, I would never put anyone, especially another woman, in a position to be ambushed by a man or anyone else. That brunch situation was deeply triggering for me, and it's something I would never intentionally create for someone else. You were smiling, girl. You were triggered, but smiling. Very big, as I might say. But anyway, she says that my purpose in advocating for DV victims and survivors goes far beyond me or any narrative. Okay. Says that this mission is about creating safety, support, and a path to healing for those who need it most, which would be yourself. And it goes on to say that Destiny's Law Foundation is my commitment to this cause, and I will continue to stand strong for what I believe in, despite any attempts to misrepresent, okay, my intentions. All right. Hashtag Destiny's Law Foundation, hashtag domestic violence awareness, hashtag survivor advocate, hashtag unbreakable. I read a few lies in there. Where you said you would never put anyone, especially another woman, in a position to be ambushed by a man or anyone else. You've done that already. This is not the first time that you set up Tisha, which is why her mother unfollowed your ass and said that you were not a good friend to Tisha because she peeped the bullshit as well. You set her up whenever you had that situation, that field day bullshit that we just saw a couple episodes back. You set her up then because you knew that Martell was going to bring that up, and you set the conversation up by asking Martell on those stupid ass, fake ass cue cards, who in this group is somebody that you feel was not there for you and mistreated you the most. You already knew he was going to say Marceau because you had the same conversation in the storage room when Martell said to you, I feel like Marceau and Maurice and them were not there for me when I was going through my situation of being locked up and all these other things of in and out of court. So you knew about that. So you set it up for that situation, knowing that Tisha was going to also catch a stray, because on the park bench when you guys spoke, Martell also aired out his grievances, and he also mentioned your friend Tisha. And when he did that, you sat there with that stupid ass grin on your face like you were enjoying this hot piping tea that Martell was talking to you about your friend, as you like to call her, another woman, which you mentioned here in your little post. So you knew about that. You know how Martell feels about your friend. So for you to set up a situation where he's already been talking shit about your friend and her husband, it gives that you are a fucking liar, Destiny, and that you are a shit starter. And then you like to try to hide your bullshit behind these foundations and this DV situation that you claim that you were in. And I don't like to be insensitive to anyone that's ever been in a DV situation, but according to court documents, you were putting hands on LeBarrett. So that would make you the DVR and not the person who would be advocating for DV. I'll let y'all marinate on that just a little bit as I continue to stir the pot. Okay, let me keep stirring. Yeah, you can't advocate for shit that you orchestrating. I'm sorry, and I'm sick of tired of people doing that bullshit to try. I'm an advocator. Did I tell you I was an advocator? Oh wait, did I tell you that I was an advocator? That's Destiny. I'm an advocator. Girl, let's talk. First, let me tell you, girl, I'm an advocator. Oh my God, girl. Listen, did I tell you I was an advocator? That's Destiny. Every fucking time you turn around, she's a fucking advocator for something when she is the problem of everything. Get your ass off this show. Go and get some real therapy and stop playing in our face, Destiny, about this damn DV bullshit and these breakable candles. Let me show you. Let's continue because there's more, child. Let's get into some comments. All right. So this person says, I don't blame Tisha either. And Destiny should be tired of setting people up. Very nasty work. Very nasty work, Destiny. Now, if everybody else can see through you and see you and can read you and tell you what you're doing, stop always blaming bloggers for calling the shit out, because we're not the only ones that can see through your bullshit, okay? And every time you get called out on it, you get mad and throw these little subliminals in your post. But baby girl, listen, you are the problem, okay? Accepting it and getting help for it is always something that you don't like to do, okay? I don't think Dion is helping you be accountable, because she ain't accountable either. When you have an unaccountable therapist, then that makes you unaccountable as well, because they're tiptoeing around your problems because they don't want to hold you accountable, because one, y'all are supposed to be best friends, and God forbid she tell you about yourself for real, because then you really, really not going to hear shit she got to say, because we have seen you zone out, girl. We've seen you zone out several times over there on Mental Monday, baby. You was being real mental. But let's continue with the comments. Says that Destiny isn't a good friend at all, and ain't. This says that I would hate to be ambushed like that. Says that why would Destiny not give her a heads up and didn't? You could tell Tisha did not know Martell was coming, but you could tell that Destiny knew that Martell was going to be there. Period. This person says that I'm not leaving my food and my plate again. I know that shit right. I'll get my shit to go. Says that Destiny and Martell are so thirsty together, and is. Another person said that Destiny is wrong for this. It says that I'm not a big fan of Tisha, but I don't blame her for leaving, and don't. Says that I would tell Destiny about herself too. And Martell has some real issues that he never takes accountability for his actions, then gets mad when folk don't want to deal with him. Period. That's Martell. All right, now let me get into these candles that Destiny also has out while she's advocating for DV when she is a part of the problem. Now, we've seen you pick up chairs at the Galentine event trying to hit Stormy. That's not a person who would advocate for DV, Destiny. I don't know a person who would want to be out here picking up folding chairs, child. Like your ass just left fucking Revival. You done brought one of them folding chairs over from the Revival and try to fight and or hit Stormy at the Galentine's event. That's not a person who would be advocating for DV, because that is definitely a violent situation. Let's not forget about how you stood up on Melody Sherrill, the girls trip, like you wanted to fight her, girl. Let's not forget about that. Let's not forget about other instances where you jumped up and people have had to pipe you down because you are very, very confrontational, Destiny. You really are. I can call out a bunch of stuff that I've seen. So this is her now saying that she is restocking with purpose. She says in February of 2025, we're bringing back these beautiful purpose-driven candles to reignite our flame for life. Now, who's bringing this back? Because this is already back on via Alibaba. I've already talked about it. I've already showed you guys. If you go over on Alibaba, you can buy these candles in bulk, minus her logo that's been plastered over the front of them. You can get them in white and also black. I've shown them here. That's where I believe in my heart of hearts that she's getting the bulk of these candles from, because that's where I saw them. And you can get a whole boatload of these damn candles for very, very little. All right. So I feel like she's white labeling as she's seen her friends Tisha and Marcel and the rest of them do. Now, says that these candles are more than just a product. Says that they represent resilience, survival, and the power to thrive after life's toughest battles. Sounds good. Says that let's continue to stand together in support of survivors. Who would that be? Showing that no matter what, we're unbreakable. Now, what don't make sense to me is if you're going to be having something as such to advocate for women or anyone who've been in situations of DV, and you're saying that you want to represent survival and thriving and focus on toughest battles, and you're saying that you're unbreakable, but you're selling candles that look broke. I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense. I don't think you thought this through. I don't know. It don't sound believable. If you're going to use the logo of saying unbreakable, then you're selling candles that look like you threw the bitch against the wall a couple times. I don't know. It's giving that I don't know. I can't support that. Not knowing what I know, Destiny. Okay. I just can't. I can't. Now, let's get into this foundation. Let's stop sharing this bullshit, because that's what I got to call it, because that's exactly what it is. I can't buy a candle that looks like you threw the bitch against the wall and two, give any money to this foundation, because the foundation's already been out. Let's get into it. It originated from a young woman who first began the actual foundation, which is also called Destiny's Law Foundation. I'm getting ready to pull it up for you. We're going to see the video of where it originally originated from, okay? It's from this lady from Ohio that her daughter was an actual real victim of a situation of violence, okay? Yeah, so Destiny might be getting sued along with your friend Tisha for kind of taking someone else's idea and trying to make it your own. And just because your son's name is Law, it doesn't mean that everything that says Law, that you can post your name on it and create foundations that say Law and try to profit from that when said foundation is already out and copyrighted and everything else to do with that. All right. Now, the victim's name is, catch this, y'all. The victim's name from this Destiny's Law Foundation, her name, of course, is Destiny, all right? And she was severely abused, and I gotta say it that way, by her mother's boyfriend. All right. And at 16, and this happened at the age of 16 months old. Now they said that, of course, let's go ahead and put this up. Let's go ahead and pull it up. I ain't gonna make y'all wait no more. Let's go ahead and look at it. So y'all know I ain't making shit up. Okay. Let's go and pull this up. Let's go and pull this up. Okay. Shout out to the Dayton Daily News, because that's where we're looking at it from. All right. Dayton Daily News. Let's get into it. All right. Destiny's Law passes Ohio House by 84-1 vote. My Destiny, these people are white. You're not. So I'm not sure where you got your idea from, or maybe I do, but Destiny's Law was already out. Let's get into it, though. Let's get into the video so that you know where this originated from and the situation surrounding the original Destiny's Law. Let's go. Hold on. Let's take it off of we got it turned up. Hold on. Let me make it big first. Hold on. Let's see. All right, there we go. Let me back it up and play.
They're excited. They're really happy for me and Destiny.
For Randy Shepard, Wednesday's vote at the State House was more than a decade in the making.
Yeah, I didn't think I would be fighting for the same thing 11 years later.
Randy's daughter, Destiny, was just 16 months old when she was shaken. The Clark County toddler was left in a coma with a skull fracture, on life support, and was not expected to live.
Destiny received a life sentence while her attacker received 8 years, and those 8 years don't even begin to touch. She has to pay the consequences for a crime she never committed.
But Randy and her now 13-year-old daughter were in the gallery when the Ohio House voted 84-1 in favor of Destiny's Law. The bill would require an additional mandatory sentence of 6 years to anyone convicted of felony violence against a child under the age of 10.
It's been a struggle. There's meetings, there's votings, and it stalls in one committee, and the bill expires, and it's been a really tough road with it.
Since introducing the bill back in 2007, Shepard has been fighting not just for her daughter, but other victims of violence. It was a moment she'll remember forever as she celebrated with a daughter that wasn't expected to be doing what she's done.
I was shocked. I'm excited. It was probably one of the biggest moments of my life. Took me 11 years.
Shepard told me because it was one of the most important moments of her life, she had to be in Columbus to see that vote on the House floor. Now, if it does pass the Senate sometime later next week, it could be on the governor's desk before the end of the year, just in time for Christmas. Reporting live from the Montgomery County Courthouse, James Buckley, News Center 7.
And there you go. Let's go ahead and read into it a little bit. All right. Let's go back up. As you guys can see, Destiny's Law passes Ohio House by 84-1 vote. Okay. This woman started this, and this was all the way back in November of 2018. All right. We're in 2025. Destiny just announced that she is doing a Destiny's Law Foundation in 2025. This was originated back in November of 2018. We tell you no lies. We're looking at it right here on the fucking screen. It says that a bill making it tougher for people who assault children passed the Ohio State House today by an 84-1 vote. Randy Shepard and her 13-year-old daughter, Destiny, were in the gallery when the vote passed, a victory 11 years in the making. I'm sorry. It says that Destiny was 16 months old, as you guys heard in the video, when she suffered a brain damage from a skull fracture after being shaken and thrown against a wall by Terrence King, which was the mother's boyfriend. Okay. Said that she was rushed to a Dayton Children's Hospital and put on life support, not expecting to live. King was released from state prison in 2014. Okay. Says that Randy and that's them two together, Randy and Destiny, the mom and baby. All right. Destiny received a life sentence. Destiny received a life sentence while her attacker received 8 years. Okay, so they're just going into that. Now, introduced in 2007, actually it was 2007, I stand corrected, okay? Destiny's Law would increase penalties to anyone convicted of felony violence against a child under the age of 10. All right, so as you guys can see, this was already put into place years ago, prior to Destiny even coming out with this. So you can't go out and just open up some type of foundation without doing your homework on that first. This obviously is a foundation that is near and dear to this family because of what happened to her daughter, who was almost about to lose her life prior because of her boyfriend putting hands on her daughter and shaking her daughter. So it's weird to me that Destiny would use this foundation as her own and promote it to make money from it, which it should be going towards the real Destiny's Law Foundation for this little girl who is forever, for the rest of her life, going to have to deal with medical issues. So Destiny, you are using the name of this foundation, which could very much so pull money from the original Destiny's Law Foundation in terms of where it should already be going. Okay. I get it. Your son's name is Law, and I get it. Coincidentally, your name is Destiny as well. But you have to do your homework when you're doing these businesses and or foundations to make sure that these businesses and or foundations are not already copyrighted, because you can be sued for copyright infringement. That's just on period. You have to do that. You have to do that. Okay. So let's stop sharing, because I like to pull a good receipt, honey. I ain't gonna never steer you wrong. I'm saying. All right. Okay, so let's continue. So as I was saying, Destiny likes to say that she was this abused person. I'm not saying that she may have not gone through that, but do I feel like you could have been the initiator just because of the issues in the attitude that you've seen, or that we've seen rather, on Love and Marriage Huntsville, where you've been the aggressor in most situations? Nobody can say anything to you, Destiny. You're very mouthy. You're very in your face about certain things, and you like to run up on people and pick up things like you're going to fight people and stand up on people like you want to fight. It's giving that you have something in you, or maybe that was done to you, because a lot of people who have been bullied and or become aggressive, something may have been done to them at some point in time in their life. But my only thing is this: you cannot sit up here and say that you advocated for something and then hop on national television and show aggression and show that you want to fight and pick up things to show that you want to hit someone, when that is showing aggressive behavior, the DV behavior, violent behavior. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on it. And it has nothing to do with me not liking Destiny. It's not even that I don't like her. I just think she's full of shit a lot of times. I think she lies a lot. I think she gaslights a lot. And I think she likes to choose the wrong side. And my thing too is, how the fuck are you advocating for DV when the motherfucker that you run around with, that would be Martell Holt, who is also a DVer, who is also an abuser. We've heard about how he's abused his children. You're a mother. So that should be something that's in you to say, you know what? I don't give a hot damn if we are friends. Martell, this bullshit is wrong. You sat on national television and said, oh, we don't know if the revenge peace situation is true because he hasn't been. Girl, he's been convicted. You got mad at Dion and them when they talked about it on Mental Mondays. You sat there staring at the screen because they said something about Martell, and you couldn't even finish your own fucking show. You had to get off screen and get off camera to go gather yourself because you were so in your feelings like that was your boyfriend or some shit because somebody said something about Martell. Y'all supposed to be just friends. But then again, Martell did say on the show, don't make me talk about what me and you've done. What did y'all do? How you advocating for DV when you hang with one? You co-sign with one. I'm sorry. I can't hang around with R-worders. A person who go out here R-wording women, I wouldn't want to be around that. Especially if I'm trying to advocate for it. That makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. But that's what you like to do. But Destiny, I get it. You're trying to make a coin. I know it's a bag behind this. It's a bag behind this. You're trying to sell those candles because you know your time on this show is dwindling down. So you're grabbing at straws, trying to figure out how you're going to make it to the next place because your bills ain't paid. And God forbid you go out here and have to sign off on some other shit like LeBaron just took you to court for. That would be forgery. That's what desperate people do. You might want to get you another van and get out here and start selling you some more of those lottery tickets, my girl. You might want to do that. You might want to get you a real job. That's something that you don't want to do because according to what Moses was saying, you want to be famous real bad. So you keep putting yourself in situations trying to run with people who really got it so you can look like you got it by wearing all these fake ass clip-on designer earrings because you want to blend in with those that do. Real people that pay their bills and you don't, Destiny. You don't. Moses said he told your ass the same fucking thing when he was fooling with you, that you need to sell that damn Madani building because you were struggling to keep the fucking rent paid. And then we find out that the people that owned the building while your fake ass was on national television trying to have Marceau come and build some units within the building. And you didn't even have the right to do that because you didn't even own the fucking building. You owe those people, which is an old man that owns that particular building where Madani was. You owe so much fucking back rent to this man. He had to take you to court and have you evicted out of his building. Let's not get into all of your employees that you owe money to, that you probably still owe money to, that they're cooperating with the feds as we speak, because I already played it on my channel where one of her ex-employees said that they work in that hot ass place with no fucking air conditioner in the middle of summer, trying to work with Destiny, complaining about not getting paid. Destiny taking her ass to New York, going to plays, knowing that she owed people money. Let's not talk about the countless cars that you've had repossessed, Destiny. Which one? You have an open case getting ready to come up now with where you're saying that Maurice is supposed to be representing you in a case where a vehicle was repossessed that you didn't make the payments on as well. Let's not get into the white Mercedes that you had when you were married to LeBaric that your ass had to turn in, that you were avoiding turning in because you did not want to look less than what you like to portray yourself to be. So you went out here this particular season, I see, and you thought that people weren't going to catch it. I know you were driving a white Mercedes. You went and leased and or rented a gray one, just like the one you had to turn in to make it look like you were still on your shit. But people like me who don't miss nothing, I caught that. She wanted production and everybody to see her ass pulling up to the Madonna event in a leased car. Girl, we already know what's up, Destiny. We know what's up. I saw what you was driving when you pulled up to Dr. Heavenly's house to do that interview. Volkswagen, baby. You were driving her up in a Volkswagen. So you on the show fake flossing just like Maurice broke ass. How his ass pulled up to the courthouse in a broke down looking car. But when he get on Love and Marriage Huntsville, he's in a Lambo. Weird vibes. That's all I'm saying. Weird vibes. And I get it. Y'all want to look a certain type of way, but y'all on some fake shit. That's all I'm saying. And Destiny, you need to pay your fucking bills and stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. All right. And doing so, stop copying other people's business ideas like your friend Tisha for both y'all asses being in court being sued, because you stay in court, Destiny. You stay in court and you stay lying about why you're in court, and then you get mad at the bloggers because we pull up really why your ass was up in there. All right. Let's move on. Ciao. Let's move on. There we got that. So I wanted to show you guys that about Destiny's foundation and the fact that she lied, and other people were calling her ass out about that said situation. Let's get into some Bryshere Gray. All right, let's get into him right quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Jeez. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If so, please don't forget to like the video. Okay. Give me 1 second. So one more thing I needed to pull up. Okay, yeah. All right, I got it. All right. Oh, so much. Lord. All right. Bryshere Gray. Let's get into him. You guys know who he is. He was from the show Empire with Cookie and Lucius Lyons, child. Y'all remember him. Y'all going to definitely remember when I put his picture up here. It's coming up. Give it a few minutes because you guys know how StreamYard works, y'all. They got a little latency. There we go. Y'all know who Bryshere Gray is. That's the guy on my screen from the show Empire. Now, people have been talking about him crashing out here for quite some time. He most recently posted this on social media, in which several media outlets picked it up. It's very sad to see how he's crashing out, but he says that I need my, which y'all see 8 from the bike. Who is out here saying it out loud, child? And putting it in a post as well. He also goes on to say that I need some DICK in my throat, and then there's a tongue emoji. Now, he tried to say that he was hacked. I'm going to have to call bullshit on that because bruh got a whole OnlyFans page, you guys, if y'all didn't know that, because Hollywood ain't fucking with him no more. Hollywood ain't trying to put him in not even a commercial. Okay. And it's very sad because he was a great actor. I did enjoy him being on Empire, but I feel like the powers that be behind the scenes in Hollywood have blackballed him. So it's forced him to put himself in situations in order to make money. And that would be OnlyFans. A lot of celebrities are turning to OnlyFans in order to make money. If you guys know who Camille Winbush is, she was on the Bernie Mac show. She was the sister, kind of dark-skinned girl with the long hair, real pretty girl. She also is on OnlyFans, and she claims that she's making a lot of money because Hollywood is not fooling with her anymore. She can't get any work in Hollywood. Nobody's calling her. So she had to do what she had to do in order to keep her lifestyle and pay her bills. So she too has an OnlyFans page. But it was brought to my attention that he, like I said, in addition to his OnlyFans page, that he is actually shooting explicit videos with men and trans men as well. And he also is said to be doing gay PORN, if you will, in order to get his bills paid. And that's very sad. That's very sad for him to have to do that. I mean, I would have gotten a regular job. That's what old boy from Cosby Show did. Yeah, that's what old boy from Cosby Show did. He went right on down to Trader Joe's and got him a damn job. Elvin, the guy Elvin from Cosby Show, he went and got him a fucking job. He was like, fuck this. I ain't about to go starving. Celebrities do it all the time. Lily from SWV was working a customer service job when SWV was in limbo and didn't know if they were going to go back on the road again. She said, hell, I got bills. We ain't did no shows in a while. I got to go get me a fucking job. She said it was embarrassing because people remembered her being on stage, being SWV. And now you sitting here doing regular work like us. She was like, I don't give a hot damn bitch. I was sleeping in my car in stadium parking lots. And I'm going to go get me a job until we figure out what we're going to do. You got to swallow your pride so you can swallow shrimp and lobster. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say it again. Bitch, sometimes you got to swallow your pride so that you can swallow shrimp and fucking lobster. And that's just how it goes. All right. So it's saying, like I said, that he is doing videos on OnlyFans. And also it was revealed on Twitter. He has a lot of explicit pictures and videos and stuff on his Twitter account. For those of you that follow him as well, where he is indulging in GAYPORN. If you don't, for those of you that can spell. All right. This ain't for you, Martell, because we know you can't spell. But again, like I said, he's being blackballed in Hollywood, so he's resorting to do what he feels he needs to do, and he's offering his cornhole for a coin, is what it's giving. So then he tries to come back after these particular posts were put out on social media to say that he was hacked, but then a lot of people were chiming in who follow him on Twitter and other social media platforms to say, hey, but don't you have that OnlyFans where you have naked pictures of yourself, where you have explicit other pictures on there with you and trans and other people on there? Like, we don't believe that bullshit. We don't believe that bullshit. I don't know what you need to do. Well, I do know what you need to do. I know you need to stop doing this bullshit before you wind up, one, catching something, and two, before you catch something. And I'm gonna stay on that because that shit is dangerous. We're living in a day and age right now where a lot of these people who are in the PORN industry that do these videos, you do get tested, but then sometimes that shit don't get caught. You got to keep getting tested because a lot of times they ask them to do unprotected sex because you get paid more money versus the ones that do protected. It just looks better on camera when you're doing unprotected, which is so fucking crazy. I would not, because there are other things that you can catch besides the three-letter word, A, the I, and the D. Well, the four-letter word. I mean, shit. Or the H and the I and the V. So that is what he is indulging in right now to pay his bills. I don't ever like to judge a person. And I'm not judging him. I'm just saying that it's sad to see you fall from grace such as that to do what you're doing in order to pay your bills. Everybody know you from the guy off of Empire, this star from Empire, this music guy. He was also doing music, in addition to him getting off Empire and waiting for them to call him for other jobs in Hollywood. But maybe he got the word that OnlyFans pays all this money and he decided to go over there. But of course, they do, they say that GAY porn pays a lot of money as well. So that's probably why he chose to do that. So I'm not sure. Because before he was dating girls and he was into girls. So I don't know if that's just a job for him or if it's just something that maybe he's just coming out of the closet. I don't know. But there was this weird thing and rumors were about him in a situation with Will Smith, to where it was said that Will and Jada allegedly had some type of sexual stuff going on in their home, where Bryshere was coming over there and someone was saying that they heard him running out of Jada and Will's house screaming and hollering because something had been done to him that, you know, kind of, I guess, traumatized him or some shit like that. And they said he hasn't been the same since then. And it's been whispers around all over Hollywood of stuff about Jada and Will and other people in Hollywood where they've kind of ruined their lives in that way as well. And I'm going to say allegedly because I wasn't there, but they did say that Bryshere Gray had something to do with that, and he had some stories that were connected to Will and Jada and stuff that go on in their home. So I don't know. I just know he's kind of fucked up in the head right now, and he's just kind of doing whatever he needs to do to survive. And it's sad that he is resulting to have to do that. But it's been over a year now. It's been over a year now that he's been on OnlyFans doing this with these explicit pictures and videos, and it's crazy. It's like you're just ruining your career. You're ruining your reputation behind this bullshit. And I don't know. Prayers to him. That's all I can say. Prayers to you, prayers to you, prayers to you. All right. So that is Bryshere Gray, and that is what they are saying about him. Let's read a couple of things. They say that Jesus wept for a reason, and that's a little mo child. Said, I beg your pardon, Hakeem, because y'all know that was his name on Empire. It said, I feel so bad for him, and the industry messed him up and had him out on drugs. He was on drugs for a minute too. Says that don't judge him, y'all, that he is not in his right mind. I don't feel like he is either. It said the empire has fallen. It says, see, Lucius was right. Jamal done rubbed off on him. Y'all, that was a show. It says that so he was Jamal in real life this whole time. Y'all stop. Another person said, in no way something to laugh at, real hard. Prayers for him in sad situation. I agree. That's nothing to laugh at because he is definitely struggling. He's battling a lot of demons, it sounds like. And desperation has caused him to do some things, offering up his body for a coin, and that can never be good. But shout out to him, prayers for him that he finds his way and that he realizes his worth and that he doesn't have to do what he is doing in order to survive. Let's get to the next topic. Which, they wearing me out this morning, Lord. Oh, they wearing me out. All right, so let's get to the next topic. We've already talked about one person that likes to steal ideas, but the original idea stealer would be Tisha Scott. Let's get into that because now it sounded like she is taking another page literally out of Melody Cherie's book, where Tisha now is saying that she's going to be selling some type of journal or doing a journal giveaway. And we see on the front of this journal that says My Blueprint. We know that Melody uses that on a lot of her merch and other things like that. The blueprint. Melody's been talking about the blueprint. Melody was talking about when she taught Tisha the blueprint. Remember back, and I want to say season 2 or 3, in terms of how to get her businesses up and running, how to get out of the house of being a stay-at-home mom and to focus on business. So Tisha is now adopting. And anybody can use the word blueprint. I'm not saying she can't use the word blueprint, but it just sounds weird to me that everything that Melody says and or does, you coming behind her and you copying that and trying to make it work for your businesses. Okay, it's just weird to me. But that's something that I feel she's copied, and she's copied quite a few things. Melody has called Tisha out for copying her as well. So I mean, if Melody is calling her out, then I guess we're gonna have to go with that. But as you guys can see here, she says, "My life, my blueprint, the dot journal." So here she says, we will be, let's pause. She says that we will be picking the winners tomorrow for our journal giveaway. She said to be on the lookout via DM. Thank you so much for entering. So it's some type of something that they got to enter in order to win this damn journal. You see, she's still promoting the rich wife hats. Which we already talked about. That was originally done somewhere else as well. So she's sitting here, of course, in this damn coffee shop versus in one of her businesses, because she does have, according to her, quite a few. They have Shoat, they have Black, and she can also work at her home. Like, why not sit at home? If the kids are in school, it's going to be a quiet environment versus being in a coffee shop where you're trying to focus and be on your laptop with other people talking, people walking by. Like, it's giving, I don't know, fake vibes. I don't know if it's a deflection from everything that's been going on with Martell coming for them, coming for their marriage, revealing receipts and stuff on them. I don't know what it is, but I feel like Tisha is trying extra hard in order to divert everybody's attention from what's been said about her and insinuated about her into now she's being this huge businesswoman that's out here moving and shaking and popping. I saw a video the other day where she was back in Target again in the dressing room, trying on clothes, trying to petition Target to hire her to be a model again. They're not taking the bait because you've done this several times. And I don't feel like they think that you would be a great person to model their clothes. It's weird to me. She's all walking around back there barefoot on those floors back there, trying on clothes, and said, you know, putting up posts and insinuations of Target, please reach out to me, that she wants to model. She's coming off as being very thirsty, and she's coming off as being very weird. So I don't know. I would think a person who has all these businesses and degrees, you said that you're a broker. Why aren't you doing anything with brokerage? You said that you have your real estate license and all these things. Why aren't you focusing on real estate, which is where the real money is? You talking about modeling for Target? Fuck that. If I own a brokerage business, I own a lounge, I'm going to focus my attention into that. You should be looking at the reviews from your businesses, especially Black, where you guys have a lot of negative reviews where it says that your business is always nasty, including the bathroom, and you ain't got but one. You would think you can keep that bitch clean. And then the fact that you guys need to focus on expanding your menu and your business, just period. You need to focus on what you're going to do with Schultz, while Marceau is the only person, obviously, that can work in the office, and you can't work in there when you are 86, 87% owner of the business. Why is it that the other guy who he hired to work in there, he's no longer there, but you got to go to a coffee shop when the two of you share business? That's your husband. And y'all remember Marceau saying on Love and Marriage Huntsville that he don't want to work with Tisha. He don't want to do any type of business stuff with Tisha, but you're in her business, if we look at it technically, because she owns it. So you allow your husband to boot you out of your business, take down your plaques and your, accomplishments from your degrees and things that you've earned to post up for people to see when they come into your business, in order to have someone else come in there and take over your office and tell you, you just go home and be a stay-at-home mom. He doesn't give a fuck about you thriving, because I feel that he feels that if you get your footing and you become this successful businesswoman, like he said in front of Melody, that he doesn't want Tisha to be like Melody, because Melody is headstrong. Melody is business-minded. Melody is a go-getter. She's a self-starter. So Marceau doesn't want that for Tisha, because I think he thinks that she will up and leave his ass if she really gets her footing and realizes that she doesn't really need to be with somebody like Marceau, who has nothing and who's really riding her wave. He's a wave rider like Martell was with Mel. Look at Martell now. He don't have shit. And neither will Marceau if Tisha wake up and snap out of that damn Stockholm syndrome her ass is in. She has the potential to be great. I don't think she knows how. And I think that's why she chooses to copy other ideas of people that she see and or admire, like Melody Cherie, like Just For Me box, like the Rich Wife hat, like again, let's circle back to Melody Cherie, because she copies a lot of stuff from Melody. Like Nicki Minaj, when she copied the Pink Friday idea for her daughter's hair care line. Like she is a... Like Stormy, let's go in there. Stormy, where she was white labeling Stormy's canvas beauty bottles. Like, it's crazy. You have all these degrees, 2 masters and a bachelor's. You should have something up here, sis, in order to feed you some ideas and to, so that you can do a little bit better out here, because it's becoming at you this laughing stock, Tisha, as this so-called businesswoman. And people don't take you seriously, because I don't think you invest enough time into yourself and into I guess reading up and getting enough knowledge in terms of into what you're trying to produce and or put out. Let's say it that way. Okay, let's continue, child. This is her sitting in this damn coffee shop again. I guess shout out to her, because that's where we're seeing it from her page. All right, but let's continue, child. Let's continue. All right, so the last piece of our show, shout out to Aisha Cologne. I do like her, as you guys may know. Let's get into She and Willie. She has started her own podcast or her own YouTube channel, and she and Willie are talking about what really, really happened on Love. I mean, why I want to keep calling Love and Hip Hop, Love and Marriage Huntsville. What happened on Belle Collective and why they chose to quit on Carlos King's podcast like they did. All right. Let's get into it. We're going to try to get through it. You guys bear with me, okay? Let's go ahead and share. So Aisha has now started her own YouTube channel, and she pretty much says on here, fuck it, I don't care. I ain't about to not talk. She said, we ain't on the show no more. I'm about to be transparent. And I appreciate that, because people want to know, like, what happened? What were you guys thinking? What happened behind the scenes? How, she talked about how people hated on her and how they were coming for her and why she and Willie chose to leave. So let's get into it. Shout out to Aisha Cologne, because that's where we're watching from her channel. All right. Shout out and let's go.
Just overwhelmed with joy to be a part of. I would say that, and that's Belle Collective. It is on the Oprah Winfrey Network, and I was a part of the show for 3 seasons. I came on the show in season 2, And I was a part of season 2, season 3, and this past season 4. And Willie and I decided that after this season, it was going to be our last season. So there were a lot of things that happened in this season. And we are going to discuss those things today. And we call it finale because this will be our final time addressing the show, addressing the finale of that season, and addressing the reunion. So today we're going to address the brawl. We're going to address the phone issue, and we're going to address our reason for leaving and why we left on Carlos's Messy Monday on live. So we'll address that. Our second F that we're going to talk about today is the future. The F is future. And we are going to talk about what we do every year at the first of the year, and that's our vision boards. And we have a vision board party every year. So we're going to discuss that. So first, finale, and then second, the future. You okay with that?
Locked in.
All right, so let's go. So with the finale, as you guys know, like I said, I was a part of Belle Collective, which is a show that is said to be focused on 6 Black entrepreneurial women in the state of Mississippi, particularly in the capital city of Jackson, Mississippi, which is where I'm from. It was an amazing opportunity. Like I said, I was very happy to be a part of the cast, to be asked to be a part of the show. I wanted to be a part of the show because of its focus on Jackson, the storyline. Even the when you went on that first season of the show, it talks about women who were coming together to revitalize a historic area in Jackson, which was Ferry Street. So that was my first peak interest. That was the reason first of all, anything that's happening or coming out of Jackson, Mississippi, I am going to support. I'm going to applaud. I'm going to talk about it. And I wanted to just congratulate the women, I think, for bringing attention to the Ferry Street Historic District, because like you've all heard me say over and over and over, my family has been on Ferry Street since 1896. Now, Ferry Street is not a storyline for me, but I was happy that attention was being brought to it in what I felt was a positive way at the time. And on a network like the Oprah Winfrey Network, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, Miss Oprah Winfrey herself is from Mississippi. So I thought that was absolutely amazing. Told my husband about it, told our friends about it from Jersey to Mississippi. And actually, when the first season came out, we had a watch party for it. So when I was invited to be a part of the show, I welcomed it and I was excited to be a part of it. So you guys have watched me over seasons of Belle Collective. Well, we got to this final season for the Colognes. I thought that this season was going, for me, I thought it was going well. You think when I first came on, I was sort of like a villain. They thought that, the word was, I thought I was better than everybody. I thought I was above the other ladies in the cast, which was not true. But I played my part. And I think what people fail to realize, because we say it's reality TV, it still is a job. And you are put in situations and it becomes a part of your real life. Let's put it that way. So let's get to this finale. We get through the season, like I said, which I thought went really well. You had a lot of focus on Sophia and JJ's relationship and their family. You had focus on just other things that were going on in the girls' lives. But for us, I don't really think, we were talking about what was happening with me at the time, and I still am on this menopause journey. And that was real life for us. I was dealing with things happening to my body that had never happened before. I didn't know what was going on with me. I was going in and out of doctor's appointments. They showed some of them, and then some of them they didn't see. I'm dealing with, being a mom, an older mom, as they like to call me, of toddlers, and you coming back and forth.
And another thing I want to do while we talk about this finale story, I want to get rid of a lot of the myths or a lot of the rumors that were put out there.
Well, go ahead. Take off then.
I think one is that you do not like Mississippi.
No, I like Mississippi. I think that was one of the storylines I didn't. Well, that was one of the narratives that was thrown out there that I didn't like. I think I've said time after time, I very much appreciate Mississippi. I appreciate the hardworking people that are in Mississippi. I think was frustrating, and I think that's part of your plight, is that when you go to Birmingham and you're in Atlanta, you see some of these other cities thriving. It's hard. It makes you scratch your head. I'm like, why isn't Jackson right along with some of these other cities? And when you kind of...
And that was our reasoning for going down there. But sticking to what you said, it was a narrative that was given to you. It wasn't that you didn't like Mississippi. We just did. It was the differences between you and the other guys were highlighted, and we went with that narrative.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for you to go with the narrative to make you seem like you were better than them. It was, you were talking to guys that you were different. You were from different places. You did not understand. The crazy thing was he never understood anything that Cliff was saying, and I understood everything that Cliff was saying.
Right.
So we would joke about that, but because it was a part of the narrative and the storyline that was there, of course, we played it up, or Willie played it up. But I think honestly, a lot of times you didn't understand Cliff.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't in a way of like, I don't understand what the hell you saying. I think I'm better than you. It was more of, he meets these guys. We're going to take it back because people say from season 2, from the beginning when Willie came on, he started making fun of them. That's not really true. They actually started with Willie. Because remember when you guys went on the fishing trip? They talked about you so bad because of your outfit.
Yeah, that was...
But listen, though, what I'm saying is, so it wasn't you coming out. You were going on a fishing trip where you thought you were getting ready to bond with the guys.
Yeah.
And so they started joning, like we say. So for you, you weren't tripping on it because at that point, I remember you coming home saying, yeah, like we were throwing shots for each other. They're really cool. I didn't learn anything about fishing, but it was at that point, I think Willie, coming from a locker room mentality where when you go in, you have all these men going back and forth with each other. You don't really want to come in doing that. But when you saw the guys coming at you, you're like, oh, okay, we good. They're throwing shots at me. I'm going to throw shots at them.
Right.
So you thought that was where you guys were.
Yes.
They talked about your hat. They talked about the outfit you put together.
They lit me up. It's fine.
That's my point. You see how you just said it was fine.
Yeah.
And they thought it was funny.
Yes.
And truth be told, you didn't learn a shit about fishing from them because only person knew how to fish, I think, was Cliff. Because if you watched
and
it,
JJ knows
and JJ knew how to fish. Glenn didn't know anything about fishing. He actually admitted that in this season 4 when he went to go visit somebody to talk about his issues with Leticia. He didn't know anything about fishing. But they joned on you. You thought it was funny. You went on. Well, when Willie talks about this rap, we go into another scene or whatever. It becomes like the end of the world. Why would he say this? Would he do this? Why was he insulting him? Willie thinks he's better. No, Willie was joning on Glenn just like you guys did with him. And if we take it back, everybody wants to know how did the Williams and the Colognes become so close? Well, a lot of things that you guys did not see in that season 2 is the relationship that began to form between us. After that fishing scene or that fishing episode, Willie still wanted to learn how to fish. Well, JJ invited Willie out to his house because they have a pond or lake or whatever in front of their house on their property.
Pond,
yeah. And so he invited Willie out to fish. Why they didn't film this, I don't know. So Willie took my best friend's husband and their sons, and they went on a weekend when we were not working, and they fished and they bonded. They did that a couple of times when we were off. That wasn't anything that they were interested in filming. Okay. But that didn't stop a relationship from building. So from that, one day Willie went out there and I was sick. And I guess Sophia asked them about me. He told her I wasn't feeling well. Well, when Willie came home, he had a plate of food, some soup, and some things that Sophia had sent me. I called her to thank her for these things, and our relationship began to grow. We did film scenes with each other. There's several scenes that Sophia and I filmed together that were not aired. And a lot of the pictures that you see of Sophia and I together were from some of those scenes that we would take pictures together either before or after we filmed those scenes. I think they didn't even air. Did they air the bowling alley scene? Because that's when.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how we formed this friendship. And later on in that year when we weren't working, they flew up to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
They came to our bar. We had some kind of a celebration of a year, 2 or 3 years, whatever year it was. They came to the baptism of my children. They were here for Holly's second birthday party. Yes. So we began to have this relationship. So to answer your question, how did we become so close? It's because we had on camera and off camera time. People have put out there, well, she's only in Jackson when we're filming, and we don't see her until we're filming. No, sweetheart, you don't see me until we're filming because we're not friends. Mm. I'm in Jackson all the time. Ask my friends. Ask Sophia. Actually, when they put that out there, I was in Jackson when I saw the video that they sent. So that's how we built a relationship with the Williams. Let's go back because I want to address when you saw on the show, we were coming to the grand opening of the Goddess Links 2.0 and Taste. Everybody's like, oh, why did they show up 3 hours late? Honey, it's TV. We did not show up 3 hours late. We were actually there sitting in our car across the street watching when they cut the ribbon. When you pull up to your job, you wait until the boss or production or whoever tells you to come in because we're putting the show together for you guys. And in order for it to have story, you have to have certain things to happen. So no, we were not 3 hours late. My husband, my niece, and I were waiting in the car until we were told to come in. They say they saw us driving up and down the street. Well, you saw us driving up and down the street because we were waiting to see when we could come in after we parked. And when we realized they were not going to bring us in for this particular scene, I said, you know what? I'm going to go get my children. Y'all know they say that's my go-to line. Well, when I realized it was close to 4 o'clock and you're not bringing me into a scene, I'm not going to send someone to get my children. I'm just going to go get my children myself. So I picked my children up, took my children to where my niece's children were. And then when we came back, that's when we were told we would be able to get in the scene. I was mic'd up the entire time over there listening to everything that was happening. So, since I'm no longer on the show, I don't really give a shit about breaking the fourth walls because what I'm not going to do is continue to let a false narrative float around here and people play with our integrity and play with our character. So even if you want to say it was 3 hours late that we got to Goddess Links, when we came in, we still came with a great attitude and we were coming with the best intentions. I was not feeling well that day. But I knew that I was going to come to that event. And well, I had to, one, because it's an all cast event. So when you see these things and you ask, well, why would somebody even show up to this? They weren't even invited. It doesn't matter if we were invited. We're putting on a show for you guys and it's your entertainment. And with it being your entertainment, that's when it goes to this is our job. So when they say on a call sheet that it's an all cast event, it means that all cast has to show up. But we were going to show up anyway because we wanted to be there to support Latrice and Cliff. Am I right? Am I on the right track?
You're moving.
Yes. Okay, so we come in.
Can he talk?
It was really hot in there. I do remember that we were going in and out.
It was a hot day.
Yeah, they had us. Yeah, it's May 22nd at this point. We go in, you have to go in and do little parts. They tell you to go talk to so-and-so, go do this, go do that. But overall, everything, it was amazing. I was very impressed with what she had done with both buildings. At this point, we're still in Goddess Links. She has suites upstairs. We didn't get a chance to go upstairs to see them, but I had heard how nice everything was. So they are wrapping that up and we are getting ready to walk over to Taste. It is Willie that was in my car, Willie, Aisha, and my niece. Where these other 14 or 15 people come from, I do not know. I had made a phone call letting them know that Latrice who at the time I don't have an issue with, she is opening up a new venue, a restaurant in my family's community. If you leave out of Taste Bar and Grill and go one way to the right, you could walk to my sister's, my brother, and my cousin's house because they're right off of the State Street, if you're familiar with Jackson, Mississippi. If you leave out of Taste and you go to the left, you will be at my home that we own in Jackson, Mississippi. You literally could walk there. So, because we were supposed to do a scene with my family earlier, talking about heart health, dealing with the health fair that Sophia and I did. That scene was not able to happen because of time. I said, hey, Latrice is having something. It's open. It was announced on the radio, and it was also posted on her page. Guys, come through. I don't have an issue with Latrice, so I don't mind with my family coming because they're going to have a great time. Only people who came was my niece, who was with Willie and me, my 64-year-old sister, and a cousin who is, I think she's 50. She's 58 or 59. She's a little bit older than my sister, my other sister. So anyway, I don't know how two older ladies and my niece become 15, but that is who all was with me besides JJ and Gucci. I knew other people in there, but they did not come with me. So we're going to be very clear. Now, mind you, from Goddess Lens to Taste, I mean, Glenn's throwing little bitty shots. I actually remember when he and I were in Goddess Lens, he was telling me, you know, I'm cool with you. You know, you and I don't have an issue. It's your husband. And I said to him then, I said, now listen, Glenn, if you have an issue with my husband, you have an issue with me. But I'm thinking we're joking. I'm thinking we're playing. It's fine, whatever. We get over to Taste. It was absolutely beautiful. You and I both were talking about, I remember you coming up to me saying, babe, did you see the cigar lounge? Did you see the cigar bar? Mm-hmm. No issue whatsoever. Now I do see the Pearson and her little sidekick, the one who was at the first brunch back in season 2, who was talking all the noise on social media. But I mean, I'm not even thinking anything about them. But I mean, it was supposed to be a birthday party for him. Actually, the birthday party was supposed to start later that night because on the invitation we got, I thought we would be gone by the birthday party because the invitation said his party was starting at 7 p.m. Mind you, this is during the day. So we're at 4 or 5 p.m. She asked me, were we going to be there to do the birthday cake? And I said, yeah, we're going to be leaving. She said, well, we're going to be doing the cake. I said, well, after that, we're leaving. When we began to film our scenes, my family was outside. They were getting ready to leave because they had eaten, they had food, they had drinks. And so they're like, oh, well, if y'all about to start working, we're going to leave. So my sister, my cousin, and my niece had stepped out when you see us sitting, getting ready to do this scene. Well, what is not seen, because people think that the energy shifted when Glenn came back in the room after his change. It actually started before that. Because remember, Cliff started with you before Glenn walked back in.
Sure. Yeah.
Because he was that's when he told us he was Jesus. I remember him saying all, and I'm thinking like, what in the heck is going, and what's going on with Cliff? But then again, Cliff is always drunk. Anytime we're coming together for a group activity, 9.9 times out of 10, he's already been drinking for 3 or 4 hours before we started.
Damn.
So I was just like, oh yeah, I know we about to get the hell up out of here because I don't like, one, I don't know who the fuck Cliff is talking to. And secondly, come on, let's get this thing going. So we were really waiting for Glenn to come back in because we were told when he comes in, they're going to sing happy birthday and we were going to be out. Cliff comes in, which you guys see. I mean, not Cliff, Glenn, excuse me, because I want to be very clear. Glenn comes back in and you extend your hand saying like, happy birthday. He was like, hey man, happy birthday. And then that's what you guys saw. You're seeing bits and pieces of the guys going back and forth. And I'm really wondering and looking at Willie like, what the hell is going on? Someone says that I'm in Willie's ear like a chihuahua, hyping him up. I never went in your ear. The only thing I said to you one time was, I said, don't say anything else. Because in my mind, I am a producer. I know how production works. And I didn't know where this storyline was going. But what you were not going to say is that Willie kept egging them on. So it continues to go. You guys saw it escalate. They broke it up. We go outside. All of that you guys saw. When we get outside, well, on the inside, what they didn't see, the girl in the pink was my niece. That's who came with me. And she told me, she said, TT, we were outside. I heard my uncle arguing. I heard my uncle stand up. And she said, the only thing I thought was he is in there by himself. He didn't have anybody. Everybody else in that place was either family or friend to Latrice or Leticia. So that's why she came in. That's why you saw her standing in the background. And that's why she came up. Now, do I think my husband needed me or my niece? No. But like I've been very clear all along, when my husband comes to Mississippi, I will never, ever allow anybody to disrespect him because I know he is there because of me. And at that point, we felt very disrespected. You're telling us you don't like him. You're saying we don't have anything. You're saying you're Jesus. You talking about he's a Belle, and Belle is another word for acting like a bitch. Let's just put it out there. You're saying all of these things. And did anybody expect for him not to say anything?
Yeah.
I'm laughing because it's just crazy. Everything's flashing.
Playing it back, yes. And Glenn says F you. I say F you to Glenn, and then she says whatever to me. And of course, I'm like, oh, well, okay. And it can go for you too. So, and there was, the people around them. So when these girls come out, my niece is thinking that it's a continuation of what was happening inside. So it goes on from there. They start firing off. It's broken up. There's no one out there but Willie, Aisha, and my niece. Where these other 14 or 15 people come from, I don't know. But you know what was funny to me? They keep saying we had all these people, but then you say about 8 of your people beat my niece down. Right. So somebody wrote in one of the comments, okay, so if they were all these people with them, what were the other 14 people doing?
Yeah, the math wasn't math.
Yeah, while y'all were beating the niece down. It's not math. And so anyway, that was broken up. That was the brawl. I'm going to address the phone situation. Apparently, after this fight, Latrice's family and my niece and us, we leave. We go around to my house. Like I said, it's right there. Everybody who was there that I knew or heard about it came around to my house. So JJ hands me my phone and my purse because I had lost my phone. I lost my purse. And that was...
And your bracelet.
Yes, and I lost my Cartier bracelet. So somebody's walking around Jackson with a very nice diamond Cartier bracelet.
Come on, Cartier.
But I hope it brings you whatever you deserve, whoever has it. So anyway, I mean, maybe they could do it and pay their rent or something. I don't know, whatever. But it's fine. You said you were gonna buy me another one. So anyway, so that's, we talk about it and everybody goes home and that's it. Of course, production's reaching out to us and they were asking if I could do a scene with Latrice. I could do a scene with Leticia. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not doing a scene with Leticia, but I do want to talk to Latrice because at this point in my mind, I wanted to apologize to Latrice because like I said it to you. Mm-hmm. I hated that happened there. And it really had nothing to do with her. Her husband starts this entire thing, which I knew she wasn't going to address her husband. And that's a different issue. But I wanted to apologize that it happened at her grand opening. I didn't even know she had reservations about that, having his event during the same time until I watched the show. So they tell me that she and I were going to meet at 11. Then they called me back and say we were going to do it at 1. Then they called and said she couldn't do it. We were going to have to do it later. And then they said, well, we're not, things have changed. She's not doing it at all. And I said to Willie then, I said, Latrice is talking to Leticia and she's trying to convince her not to have a scene with me. So I call her She said that I never reached out to her. I called her twice because I wanted to talk to her and apologize, because at this point, I know that was her family that my niece was fighting with. And, you know, I wanted to say, listen, I didn't even have an issue with that because, one, my niece didn't know who your people were. Your people didn't know who my niece was. They were holding it down for you just like she was trying to hold it down for me, and did. Now, we're going to put the facts out there. You talking about she got beat down. I didn't see one scratch on this girl. I didn't see a thread or anything out of place.
All
but I'm
nonsense.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to even address that. But anyway, I still wanted to apologize to her because I hated that. I hated it happened at this place. So that's it. We don't speak anything else about it. Willie and I pack up our children. We get on the road. We heading back to New Jersey. We left to go to New Jersey on May 24th, 2024. Let's get to the phone. On June 10th, I receive a text message. I'm going to put these text messages up on here so you'll be able to see and read everything for yourself, because they did show portions of the text message on the show, but it was out of context. So on that text message, it says, I was told production gave you my nephew's phone. We want that phone back ASAP. And, you know, just the tone of it, I was like, whoop. I said, wait a minute, I was like, a phone. And she said it was given to your cousin or whoever that was with you, and da da da. Well, I had never heard anything about the phone. This is my first time hearing anything about production giving a phone to someone in my family. I call her. Everybody wanted to know what my response was. I don't do a lot of texting. They want to call me the old bitch on the show. I'll take that. I don't like texting. So when I'm reading this, I call and I said, hey, she was like, hey, girl. I said, what are you talking about? I said, what about this phone? She's like, production told me that they gave my phone to somebody in your family, your cousin or one of those, whoever was with you. And I said, well, what did she look like? She said, the one who had the braids. She had on the pink, the one with the braids. I said, oh, that's my niece. She said, yeah, well, she gave us the phone and I need that phone back. I said, well, yeah, you had said something about ASAP, girl. I said, don't put that in the text message with me, because the tone was coming. She was like, well, oh, I mean, maybe I'm not saying ASAP, but I'm just saying we really want that phone back. She never said that he had passed, which, I mean, you didn't have to tell me that. But she was just saying she wanted the phone back. And in the text message, she sent me an address of the last time they pinged the location. It said 3 weeks ago, and we're going to put all of that up. 3 weeks ago, it was at an address. It wasn't my address, but it was on my street. So I said that to her. I said, well, that's not my address, but I'll call my niece and I'll ask her if somebody gave her a phone, because I hadn't heard, she didn't say anything to me about a phone. So she said, okay, hang up. Now, what I can't remember, because I don't want to be lying, I don't know if I called her that night or I called her that morning, but I did call her. And I said, I don't
remember.
Yeah.
No.
So I called and I asked her, I said, hey, did somebody, one of the production people give you a phone the day that the fight happened? Because this was 3 weeks ago. That happened on May 22nd. We are June 10th or 11th. And she said, oh, yeah. She said, remember you were saying you lost your phone. She said, but they gave me a phone. She said, but when I got home and asked you about your phone, you said you had your phone. JJ had your phone. And I threw that phone out the window because I guess it was one of theirs. And I said, oh, I said, yeah, well, she was saying it's her nephew's phone. So we hang up. I'm like, well, shit. I mean, she was out there fighting. If she realized it wasn't any of our phone, what the hell she looked like holding on to a phone? Did you think she was going to drive back up to Taste and be like, well, I know we've been out here fighting, but I found they gave me somebody's phone. Is it one of y'all? So at this point, that's it. I've never seen the phone, never heard about it, never had it. She said she threw it away. And then she was saying they pinged it. So in my mind, it kind of made sense, because if she threw it out, if she threw it when she was driving off or whatever, it still would have been somewhere in the area. So hell, listen, we don't have the phone. We were getting ready to go on our anniversary trip though, because I honestly didn't think anything else about it after I talked to my niece. And then she sent me the message on that Friday, because I remember we were out, but I was coming back to pack. That triggers my head, because our anniversary is June 17th and we went to St. Bart, Anguilla and stuff. So we were packing for that. I get this text message and it says, On Monday, June 10th, I asked you about my nephew's phone and I'll put it up because I don't want to be lying what the text message says. She said, and I haven't heard back from you. So if before this escalates, I need to know what's up.
Y'all remember?
So again, I pick up the phone and I call.
For those of you who watch my channel, y'all remember I just put these same text messages up for y'all last week when we talked about this. So y'all know we on our shit, okay?
Her. I call her and I said, hey, I said, sorry about that. I did forget to call you back. I reached out to my niece and she said that she threw the phone out. Yeah, B, and she's, I was like, whoa. I said, hold on, Latrice. So she's going in, click, hangs up the phone in my face. So, okay, it's immature. I'm grown as hell. So I call her back. I was like, why are you hanging up the phone? I'm telling you that I do not. That's broke bitch shit. That's broke. And going. And I was like, so then I'm getting routed in because I'm at this point, I don't know who the fuck you talking to. And so we're kind of going back and forth. Click. She hangs up the phone again. So I thought about it. And I was mad. And I was thinking, when I see her, you know, all these thoughts came in my mind. So I said, well, let me send a message back just so I can have a paper trail, just in case I see her somewhere and it goes down. So I text her back. I said, basically what I was trying to tell her on the phone, I see that you're trying to make an issue with me over something that I really thought was between Leticia and me, because I didn't have an issue with you. You are asking me to produce a phone that I do not physically have, and talking about it's going to escalate. Basically, I'm taking this as a threat, and now I'm scared. So I left it at that because I just, I'm afraid at this point. I'm afraid that something's going to happen. So she writes back and she's like, girl, F you, and da-da-da-da-da. And she goes, y'all, her text message back was so long that, I mean, it took me like literally, I didn't even finish reading it that night. I read it the next day, but it was absolutely disgusting.
She got after it. Whatever she felt about me, us, and whatever we got going on, she dumped it all out in that text.
And I could not believe it because I had no idea that this girl felt this way about me.
Yeah.
I mean, from antique face to, you unaccomplished, nothing. I mean, she went in. I will put this text message up. It's actually kind of been floating around out there if you guys have not already seen it. But it was long. It was disgusting. It was immature. And it really showed who she truly is. And so that was that. We get through that. And at that point, I didn't think anything else about the phone or her. And I knew because our decision had already been made. When we left that brawl, my husband said to me that we were done. But I knew that we had a contract to fulfill. We had not filmed the reunion at this point. Now we're on June 14th. And so we found out we were going to be filming the reunion in August. So here we go. I did not find out that her cousin died until the day before the reunion. They send us all of the episodes so we can view every episode before we film the reunion. And in one of the episodes, when she begins to talk about the phone, actually it's the last episode, she says her cousin died. And I was like, oh my God. Now, at this point, I did still feel sympathy and empathy for their family. I called Sophia. I said, oh my God. I said, girl, did you know that Latrice's nephew died? And she said, no. She said, I saw it in the episode and and whatever. And so, I mean, it still didn't change anything because I never had a phone, didn't know anything about the phone. And I told her what had happened. But in my mind, I was thinking, even if she would have said that when she called initially or text initially, and I talked to her on the phone, I could have gone to my neighbor's house. I could have tried to see exactly the address that she sent. Maybe the phone, it was 3 weeks later, but I don't know, maybe the lady's yard person or somebody found, I don't know, but I would have definitely tried to figure out like, hey, because, she explains it as if, well, we were thinking about it later and we wanted to get those memories. Because in my mind, you say your nephew passed a week later from May 22nd. Were y'all not trying to get the phone before then? because on the message she sent me, it said the last ping was 3 weeks before that. So still, the person I am, if she would have said that to me in June when we were talking about it, I still would have called my neighbors or had somebody to go past there to see if we could find something. So that's my take on the phone. I knew nothing about it. I never had it. And I mean, if you so about it, then, you know, ride past there and try to look for it.
Come on about it. Come on about it.
So, and finally, us quitting the show. We had already made up in our minds that we were not coming back. Like I said, after that situation. And then when we got to the reunion, when I watched my opening and I said something about it in August and the show did not come out until November, and what I discussed and said that I was unpleased with still was there. When I watched that final scene with these two girls coming together who just a few months before that were enemies. This girl stood over you and said, you are an insecure bitch. This is the same girl who told me you were insecure when we initially talked about each and every person on the show. I watched that scene.
Holiday Heart.
And I just think about how our executive producer asked me if it hurt my feelings watching the two of them talk about me. I was like, no. No. These two people are the biggest liars I have ever met in my life.
Sure.
Yeah.
And my reason for going on live and us quitting the show is because those two will never control my narrative. Because the way they lie, they would have had a story for y'all on how I had been fired or how they had kicked me off the show, even though we all know they don't have any power to have anybody kicked off of anything.
Come on.
But they are never held accountable for anything they do. So why would I let people in this free world think that they were the reason that I was not a part of something that I was asked to come back to, that I know that I gave a lot to, that I know I'm one of the main reasons a lot of people tune into this show. And yes, I said it. So that is why we wanted to make sure that it could not be manipulated and it was said to who it needed to be said to, but it was also sent from our attorney, our attorney to their attorney as well before we made that announcement.
Come on, attorney.
So that, my friends, do you have anything to say about this?
No,
I know
you said a whole lot. You know, I think in this, and I said it even on my podcast with JG, Wild Willie podcast. You know, my overall summary and to put a period on it is you have a decision. You know, when you watch the circus, you know, you can't be the ringmaster. That's Carlos. So you have to figure out who do you want to be. You can either be the animal or the clown.
No.
And I think we chose collectively to be neither. Yeah. So we walked out of the circus, and that's the reality of it. I think we can continue to harp on who said what, how it happened, but the end of the day is, you know, we're not going to play victim to something we signed up for, even though we was actually be on the show. And I also think it behooves us to understand, to anybody else out there who wants to be a part of reality TV, you have a choice. You know what it is when you sign up. You understand what's a part of it. I think as we sit back and we kind of move on to greener pastures, we realize so much more could have came from the show. Could have come from the show. Excuse me. So that's what's frustrating, that even with the mess and the drama and the theatrics, there still could have been a lot of good collectively we could have added to the show that was never exploited. And I think that's the most disappointing part of the experience, that we never, even though we talked about what we wanted to do and how we were going to achieve it collectively between there was 4 couples, 3 or 4 couples, we could have promoted Jackson, the community, our storylines in a way much better light. And and all that kind of got chopped off the table, and we just, we kind of just showed a product that was women fighting, messiness, da 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 da, and me, about to go damn near toe to toe in blows with Glenn. And I say this, and I'll continue to say this: the best thing that happened that day was that nothing actually happened.
Yes.
Between Glenn and I. However, were there blows thrown? Sure. Were there other things that went on? Sure. However, it's not what I want to reflect of us and you and I individually. And so we made a decision, and it's a new year and it's new opportunities. But I want everybody out there who continues to support us and everything we got going on, just understand that we're not going to play the victim. And
no,
this is where we're at.
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure that it was very clear, because not that I care what people say. Like he said, we knew what we were signing up for. I mean, when you're on a reality television show, some people like you, some people don't like you, and I mean, it is what it is. But when you are having people question my character, my integrity, who I am morally, that was an issue for me. And I know that I am leaving and we are walking away knowing we had the best intentions going into it. And we are leaving with all of that intact. I wish it nothing but the best. I loved my time there up until that last really episode. Because it was my intentions before that. It was my intentions to come back. I mean, people think, oh, well, he doesn't like it and he thinks he's better than that. No, my husband also played a role of whatever. He wanted to come back this season and give an olive branch to the guys. Yeah. I don't know if maybe they were given the narrative like, well, whatever Willie says, shoot it down. I don't know. But we talked about it before we were going down there. You said, I really want to take time to get to know Glenn and Cliff outside of this little feuding we've been doing these last 2 seasons.
Right.
And, at that pool hall, when they were like, F y'all's podcast and this, I really thought that y'all were joking. After New Orleans, what really hurt my feelings, and I think I got more wrapped into it because I get more attached to stuff or involved in stuff than he does, is when we were on our way home from New Orleans, Willie was just like, no, I think we good now, He said, I know Cliff and I probably won't be whatever. He said, but Glenn and I had a conversation and we'll be able to move forward. So we were looking forward to coming back another season. And that final episode. So like I said, today's F was finale. And it was because of the finale.
You want to take a break?
Yep. So we're going to take a break and we will come right back talking about the future.
Yes. Y'all enjoying this interview so far? She's very transparent. I like that. Very transparent. I try to keep y'all updated on the new stuff. This interview just came out, so I wanted you guys to be able to hear what really happened.
Okay, welcome back. Sorry, guys, we had to take a little break because, life is lifing and we do have toddlers running around here. So we are back and we are going into our second F for this week, and it is future. And we say future because in the beginning of every year, like we're at the first of the year, we do an annual vision board party.
Yes.
And this vision board party has grown into like the must attend event of every first of the year, it seems like. I mean, people are literally calling us saying, hey, when is your vision board party? I didn't get anything at the end of December. Are you guys doing it? Are you in Jersey? Are you in Mississippi? Where are you? And so it's something that we look forward to every year for us. And it looks like our friends and family look forward to it as well.
Yeah, I never knew. Well, I didn't know what a vision board was until you introduced it to me. It doesn't sound very masculine, right? The first time we did it was in our old home, and you had all the girls over, and they brought their significant others, and I was like, well, I want a lot of things to go right in my life. if this is.
But guys, okay, let me just say this before. First of all, vision boarding for my friends and my two prayer partners and I who started doing this together about 11 years ago. I've been doing vision boards probably 20 years. But when I moved up here, I got with my line sister and a friend that she introduced me to, and we became like this prayer trilogy. Like we really just got together and prayed over things that were happening in our life, good, bad, ugly, whatever we were desiring and wanting and needing God to do in our lives, we would pray over it. So we started doing our vision boards together. So cut to back what Willie was saying. It was just a group of ladies. And then when we moved, because we were in an apartment at first, and then we moved, we had gotten a house. And so we invited everyone over to our house to do a vision board. They asked if the guys could come. I was like, yes, sure. Willie's here. Willie was kind of making jokes about it because I remember y'all's first vision boards were really kind of
I took it seriously. I think my cousins and my brother.
Some of the things y'all were putting on those boards, y'all.
Yeah, we was putting titties and alcohol on it.
Yes. And car. I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting a car on it, but like it was really crazy until some of the things, because at the end of our vision board party, we pray over these boards. We're going to walk you through what we do at our parties. But at that time, we put the vision boards at the end of the night in the center, and we pray over them. Well, some of those things that these guys put on these boards,
it wasn't me. I took mine seriously, so I'm.
So when
she's not giving me credit here, and I don't know why.
No, you did. You came in and you were trying to explain to them what was happening, but they were just like, oh, whatever. Willie, where's the bar? Where's the beer? And, they cut a few pictures out of the magazines of some crazy things. Well, some of the things they put on these vision boards became reality. So they were like, okay, wait a minute. They thought it was some special magic. No, it's the power of prayer. And so getting back to, we got here and we really make an entire ritual of this because for vision boarding for us, it's off of the scripture Habakkuk. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying it right. You guys make sure, put it in our comments below. But I've always said Habakkuk 2:2, which is write the vision and make it plain. So someone introduced this to me, like I said, about 20 years ago. And I attended a gathering when I was in LA. And from that, I just carried it with me from in Atlanta, LA, Mississippi to coming up here. And I watched just things drastically change in my life. Things that I took to God in prayer, things that I put on these vision boards became reality for me.
No, I think the turning point for me was understanding that once you, well, I'll say this, there's a difference between a dream and a goal. And I dreamt about a lot of things I wanted to come into fruition, but you also have to have a goal. And to have a goal, they say it's always best to write down the plan. And once I started having clarity in that, it motivated me to kind of pursue the things I wanted to do.
I do believe in manifesting, putting things in the universe and it comes back. But for me, it was the power of prayer for me. So I have some of my old vision boards here. I was saying, I was looking back on one of these and thinking about, even where we are now, but I had put on here wanting to, with Oprah and our first lady at the time. Well, the next picture that I ended up putting on there is a picture of me meeting the first lady and the picture of the two of us when we were trying to conceive. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have on here healthy eggs, wanting pregnancy, praying over these things because of my, my situation and circumstances and what was going on with me physically, which we will talk about when we get to that F, fertility. But these are things that I put on my vision board. Healthy pregnancy. I put a picture of a pregnant lady with my face on top of it, praying for my family, praying for my marriage, our businesses, what we were doing. I saw one of it was on this one because I have another one over there. When we were getting bricks and hops together, getting ready to open our business, wanting to have real estate. It says businesses in Mississippi, real estate property in Mississippi, real estate property in New Jersey, real estate property in New York, which are things that we all have now. And we were working on those things in 2017, 2018, 2019. So, we invite our friends and family over. These are people who've attended these parties. So like I said, they look forward to them each year. We have food. Everyone will come in. We mix and mingle because sometimes a lot of us have not seen each other since our last vision board party. Another one of my best friends, she always prints out scriptures and faith-based quotes, and we fold them up and we put them in a jar. So you will get a piece of paper, and what we have you do is to write down anything that you want to leave in the previous year, or you want to leave behind, you want to get rid of, a habit you may want to break, something that you're asking God to remove from your life, remove from your spirit. You get a paper and you can write down whatever these things are. Remember, you're still holding the paper or whatever. You go in and blindly pick something out. And really, we know that that's God guiding you and telling you what he wants to bring you into the new year. So after you've written these things down, you will read the scripture, quote, whatever you received out. And we discuss with everyone there what this is saying to you, what God is saying to you, thinking about what you just said that you were going to be releasing.
All right, so guys, for those of you that are not following Aisha, it is on her channel. We're pretty much at the end. She's just kind of talking about future stuff and what they're doing and how they're orchestrating this into their future plans. So follow her. As you guys can see, I have it pulled up here. She did just start the channel. As you guys can see, she has 1.48K subscribers. So you guys go over and pull her up, Aisha Holly Cologne, as you guys can see here. All right. And just go ahead and subscribe. As you guys can see, I'm already subscribed. Okay. I am subscribed, so I will be watching and keeping up with what's going on. And as they release interesting things that I know you guys will be interested in as well, we'll share over here. I know she doesn't mind. That's going to bring more traffic to her channel. And you guys also follow Willie on the Why Willie podcast. That's his podcast. So you guys follow him there because he usually have a lot of great stuff too. I am subscribed over there as well. So you guys check them out. We're going to go ahead and end our live here because we don't want it to be too long because YouTube be tripping, child. We're going into almost 2 hours. So we're going to cut it off. I appreciate each and every one of you guys joining us this morning. Let me stop sharing. I appreciate you guys joining this morning, the live. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the content that we gave you guys this morning. All the visuals that we gave, all the receipts that we dropped. Okay, you guys, please don't forget to go and hit that like button on this video to keep it in the algorithm. All right. And thank you to my mods, my usual mods, Belle, Wilson, KBR, Tyra, and Scorpion Miss. And also thank you, Snatch by Diego, for stopping by. True TV Podcast, I see you in the building. Thanks. Purple Unicorn is here. Aries Girl Podcast, Deary Talk Show, Messy Ho's Atlanta, Boss Lady Brand, Girlfriend Chronicles, Chronicles of Kim K, and Love Seeing Her. Thank you all for being here. And of course, all my Caramelians, for you guys doing such an awesome job for coming over and supporting the channel and video. All right. Says the Caramel, we've been on here that long. No wonder I'm hungry. Tyra is a mess. So I'm going to let y'all go so y'all can go eat, potty, all the things and the things. All right. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will be back because there's so much going on. As y'all can see, I've been on my phone. People are sending me DMs. There's a lot of stuff going on. So now I got to get my next show prepared to pop back in on you guys to give y'all more tea and more news that I know y'all can use. Okay. So I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for being here. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. Okay. In between time and in the meantime, bye.